Hey, did you know National Flip Flop Day is Wednesday, May 29th? What a great holiday. So grab your flip flops and head to your local tropical smoothie cafe from 2 to 7 to get a free 12-ounce Island Punch smoothie. You're on Tropic Time now. Hey y'all, welcome to Pink Shade. This is Mary Payne here, and we're going to do a two-part episode today. This is the Dallas Cowboy Cheerleaders documentary called America's Sweethearts on Netflix. I did two parts with Keisha. We ran so long. So this is going to be part one, but stay tuned and you'll hear part two already in your feed. Thanks. Hey everybody, welcome to Pink Shade. You guys, it's Mugshot Monday, but guess what? No mugshots. We had no felons this week. None. Mm-hmm. We had no inmate to roommate. We got no love after lockup because of the stinking American holiday. So guess what? To get real American with it, we're covering the Dallas Cowboys Cheerleaders America's Sweetheart documentary, 7 parts on Netflix. Wow.
So I know that a few people on Pink Shade asked where we were going to cover it. Yeah. And then I'd gotten a few people in my DMs asking, was I going to cover it? So finally today, someone did. I was like, yes, I'm not covering on Libra Lounge. We're covering it on Pink Shade. So episode will be out tomorrow. And I have to tell you, I'm really excited because I used to watch the original show when it came on CMT.
Okay. So I didn't see that show when it first. I knew about it, but I didn't see it. Yeah.
Yeah, because I really wanted Kelly Finglass's job so bad. I'm like, I could do that job. Like, that is so me. Mm-hmm. So it is then CMT started charging for you to have CMT on your cable thing. Like, you have to pay extra for it. Mm-hmm. So I haven't seen it in a couple of years. So this is great that they have this Netflix special. But so many people are like, I can't believe they do this. I can't believe that they do that. I'm like, did you not watch the show when it came on? Like, they're really not doing anything new, but some stuff is kind of shocking to people.
Yeah, I mean, I have questions. I have questions about their tights. I really had a lot of questions about the tights because I understand that they have to wear like flesh colored tights that are pretty thick, to make it. They really do look like their legs. They don't look like Mariah Carey when she goes on stage and whatever rubber she puts around her legs.
Yeah,
it really does look like their legs. But. And when we saw Victoria one time, like cutting the waistband out, I was trying to figure out, like, do they sew those tights into their shorts every game so they don't move?
I don't know. And how do they not tear?
Well, they have to be new ones every time, but how did they not? It's because they said their knees are ripped up when they have to do those jump splits.
Okay.
You have to be pretty thick.
Yeah, and then they have to be pretty low cut. Because those shorts are, I mean, they're below their belly buttons.
And it's a lot. It's just like a tiny little bit of butt coverage. So I don't know. That's what I need to know. So if somebody knows the answer, that's first and foremost on my mind. And then the second question that was on my mind, when they showed them sometimes going to these appearances, which, they have to do, sometimes there's 4 of them there. Sometimes there's 2. Sometimes there's the whole team. And I'm wondering, number one, do they get paid if they do extra appearances? Probably not. Or number 2, do they have to sign up? Like, you got to sign up for 3 during the season. So that's what, you know what I mean?
It's either you have to do so many or who's available to do it, because a lot of these girls have careers, but some of them don't. So,
well, that's the whole thing. It doesn't matter if you're an orthodontist or a nurse, you still have to do your 3 appearances. Right. So maybe like the one who's a nurse is like, I can literally only do appearances on the weekends. So if it's a Friday or Sunday or Saturday, I can do it. Otherwise, I can't do it. And maybe they're all just like understanding. Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. Those are my 2 burning questions out of the 7 hours of television I watched since yesterday. I said to my husband, I go, I'm going up to record this. He goes, wait, you finished that? I go, yeah. I decided yesterday afternoon that we were going to cover this because, guys, Keisha and I were going to cover Tell Them You Love Me.
Yeah.
Another Netflix documentary. And I watched it, and then I started thinking, to watch it a second time to take notes, I'm not going to be able to do it.
It was funny upsetting. Because I watched it 2 weeks ago with a group of people.
Yeah.
And so when we were talking about, I text you and I'm like, hey, there was no new episode of Inmate's Roommate.
I know.
And so I thought we were just going to have Sunday off. You're like, oh, I'm going to come up with something like, okay. And so when you said that and I rewatched it, I literally said in my head, how the fuck are we going to do this? Like, how? Because, I mean, our things are mostly comedic and sassy.
Yeah.
This was angering. This was sad. I was like, we're about to get canceled. We try to cover this. So when you text me and said, no, we're not doing it, I'm like, oh, thank God.
I thought, watching it, it was so important and it raised so many questions at the end because you don't really know what happened. And you don't really know if this is like junk science or not. And you don't really know if this guy could ever talk to this woman. And did she take advantage of him or was it love? Like, to me, at the end, you really still don't know.
And I feel like I know.
You like she took advantage of him.
I think she totally took advantage of him. It was really, really, I mean, and it angered me so much that she only served 2 years in prison.
Yeah. And then she got out early.
It was a lot.
She's supposed to be like 12 years and she got out early or something.
Yeah, because they like redid the case and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, this bitch only served 2 years. Like, if Daisy would have beat her ass, I would have sent bail money up there to Daisy.
I love
his mom for doing it.
Yeah, and I love that brother. I love that brother, John.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
He was cute.
He was cute. He was married, successful. He's a doctor. I'm just
I know. He was all like,
man.
Did he go to Harvard or something crazy? He was like super smart. Rutgers.
Yeah.
Super smart. Just like Gia Giudice.
I was just about to say, like, just like Gia.
And one of these ladies on this show here went to Rutgers. We'll find out when we get there, as I can't remember because I got 14 pages of notes.
I don't remember either. So
one of them graduated from Rutgers, and I thought, I wonder if she knows Gia. They're about the same age.
That would be so. If she does, you got to get her on the show.
No,
you got to reach out to her.
Maybe. Okay, so let's start our recap here. Okay, America's Sweethearts, Dallas Cowboy Cheerleaders on Netflix, 7 parts. Thought it was 6. Texted Keisha, okay, I'm about to be done with my notes. And then boom, a 7th episode popped up. I was like, damn it. I thought it was 6. Yeah. So we start with episode 1. It's called Auditions Part 1. And we see that each year, hundreds of women try out and only 36 make the DCC team. This is the story of the class of 2023 team. So where we are right now, they're in tryouts for 2024, and you have to assume they're filming it.
Yes.
Yeah.
You think there's going to be a new season?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I think this was a huge hit.
Huge hit. And same guy that did Cheer.
Oh, see, I only watched 1 season of that, but there was so much controversy with that.
I know.
People got arrested and this and this and that.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder, do you think after Kelly watches the Netflix special, when season 2 of this comes out, if she's going to have gotten any work done?
Oh, I probably would. Just because I'm vain, and if I saw like a wrinkle or something, listen, nobody's going to look good in HD over the age of 30. So, Kelly, I say go for it, girl.
Yeah, I think she's going to get some work done. Because she is so pretty.
Yeah.
But she does look like she's aged a little bit since the last time I saw the show on CMT.
Also, different cameras and lighting back then. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're right.
Quite as clear as it is now.
Yeah, back then it looked like there was just a small layer of Vaseline on the camera. Mm-hmm. So you saw everything on this show.
Yeah. But I mean, I have to imagine Kelly, I don't know how old she is. She's been the director since 1991. Well, 1991 was when I graduated from college. So let's assume Kelly's like 10 years older than me. So
you think so? You think she's in her 60s?
Well, she was a cheerleader in 1988, and in 1988 I was 20, and she was a cheerleader then. So I mean, she's at least 5 years older than me.
I think she's very close to your age.
Okay, well, fine. You're trying to say I need work with HD?
No,
I'm taking it to heart now. I'm taking it,
America's Sweetheart,
personal affront.
No, I think that she is probably a few years older than you.
Okay, thanks.
I don't think she's in her 60s.
Okay, thanks. Okay, Kelly Fineglass is her name, or Finglass. I can't decide. We'll call her
Mhm.
Kelly with an I. And then there's Judy. So Judy is the head
Yeah.
choreographer. She's the class of 1983. She's 5 years before Kelly.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, it's so interesting about Judy being head choreographer. Now, Judy did
Uh-huh.
not make up these booty ass shaking dances.
So they have choreographers that they have makeup routines and then they teach the girls.
Right. So Judy knows
Yeah.
the routines, but Judy is not out there doing like jelly rolls and stuff. I mean, she's just not.
Absolutely not. But if she were to do it, I hope they catch it and we get to see it.
I know. Um,
Yeah.
so these are the two, main people of the show. We got Kelly, we got
Mhm.
Judy. So each person has to try out every year. It doesn't matter. It's the same
Yes.
with cheer. You have to try out every
Yes.
single year. It doesn't matter if you're a veteran or not. And they look through
And
every
that's fair.
application. I think it's fair. They look through every
Mhm.
application online, and out of hundreds, only 70 make it to Dallas. Then they
Mhm.
perform their costume solo. They do a field test, and then from there they
Mhm.
whittle it down. And then from there, only 36 would pick. So you could go all the way to training camp, and we found 2 days before the first game and still get cut.
Yeah, and this is the equivalent of Toddlers and Tiaras, Miss America, and Best in Show Dog Show. Because it's like, who's the prettiest, who's the prettiest, who's the prettiest. And they don't hide that fact at all.
No, they have to have the look.
Yeah.
But they do care a lot about the dancing. You gotta have the skills. I mean, you can be real pretty, but if you can't hit those marks, they are going to kick you out.
I agree, but it's just weird I'll say this, with society being the way that it is right now, like
Mhm.
looks don't matter.
Yeah,
Everyone's beautiful. To hear them actually say, she's really pretty, or no. You know what I mean? And body size
body size,
is a
and I
lot
mean, they're
in
like,
this.
look at her eyebrows, look at her
Right.
this. Oh, her makeup is terrible.
Yeah.
Oh God, and they're just like
Yes.
flat out like, oh my God, look at. Ew, her hair color. Who is she
Yeah.
always like that? Ugh.
They're
Um,
brutally honest.
They are. They are. And they were completely right too as we get going that they're super, 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 super nice. And the minute they make the team, they get real harsh.
Yeah,
To
they
the girls,
do.
I think they get real, and they have to. That's their job. But
Yeah.
it's like when you see like where Kelly lives and all this
Mhm.
stuff, you're like, you would think she would be like a millionaire, but she's not. The only
So
people that
I
are
was on the
millionaires
Reddit.
are the Joneses.
The Joneses. So I was on
Yeah.
the Reddit last night and they were talking about how much, we think that Kelly makes a year.
Yeah.
So we concluded on the Reddit that it was
Oh,
between $80,000 and $100,000.
well, that's not enough. She's been there
I don't
working
think
there
it's enough
since
either.
1991. That's a
But I
long
really want
time.
to know how much she makes.
All right. Well, I mean, they wouldn't say how much the dancers make. They used to make like $15 a game, and they
I
don't
think
even
it's
say
150 a
per
game,
game.
per game.
And they make nothing for their time spent in rehearsals, community service, any of it.
That's insane.
That's insane. What
Yeah.
one girl said, Kat, I make as much as a Chick-fil-A worker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that means you can hardly pay your bills. You've got to have a roommate, or you got to live with your
Yeah.
parents, or you've got to have a partner who makes pretty good money.
That's why they all have to have like a real job, no matter what. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So, um, we see Judy and Kelly, where we're starting with them going through some videos and they're each choosing some
Mhm.
people. It's 2 weeks until the live audition. And so now we're getting some of these veterans. So we see
Yes.
Kelsey. Kelsey is trying out for her 5th year. Everybody
Mhm.
that goes away seems to say the 5th year is your last year. Uh, it's never said that you have to leave after your 5th year.
No,
It's never said, but everybody that leaves after their 5th year.
their 5th year. That's a long time to be broke.
It's a long time to be broke and that wear and tear on your body.
There's lots of wear and tear on your body. And, these girls are starting off, around 23. Even
Mhm.
though they're still young, that's a lot that
A
they're
lot.
doing to their bodies. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So we see Kelsey who's trying out for her 5th year, and she was like, it is really horrible when you form this close-knit community and then every year people are taken out of it and new people come in,
Yeah. That's traumatizing.
So it's 1 week until the live audition. Now we meet Victoria. Victoria is
Mhm.
trying out for her 4th year. Now she's the one sitting in her childhood bedroom that there's not any way
Yeah.
she would fit in that bed. It is like really for a
I
toddler.
Phil, I was looking at her room. I'm like, I'm in 8th grade.
Mm-hmm.
I have been dancing since I was 2 years old.
Yes.
And this is the same bedroom. But I feel like Victoria really lives in that bedroom.
Yeah, I was wondering, but I really hope not.
She's very childlike.
She is very childlike, and her story turned out to be more and more and more complex as we
Yeah.
went.
Yeah. She's the breakout star of this season. Everyone's Team Victoria.
Well, I'm Team Victoria for sure, but I definitely thought Reese was the breakout star.
And you're not gonna agree with me about my thoughts about Reese.
Okay.
I can tell you right now, we're gonna be on opposite sides of this.
Can we agree that we love Kelsey?
Oh yeah, I like Kelsey a lot. Yeah.
Okay. Also like Kat, but I think Kat was sitting in her kitchen on her counter a lot. I liked her.
Kat was a lot. Kat was constantly on 10. I'm like, babes, can
Kat
we bring
and Caroline,
it down to 8.5?
Yeah.
Yeah. Poor Caroline.
Bitter.
She's nothing without DCC.
I know.
And it's sad. She totally has committed her life to DCC, and now she's lost.
But now it's like, she could go work for them, but she's
going to have to.
You're going to look like Kelly and be 30 years in this institution and still don't even have a big house. Maybe Kelly doesn't want a big house. I'm being rude.
Maybe Kelly doesn't want a big house because unless maybe her husband doesn't work, or I don't know, but I was really shocked to see her house.
Her house was small and cute, but you're thinking somebody who's worked for this huge conglomeration for so long would at least maybe have a driver. I mean, just something.
Or maybe she downsized.
Maybe she downsized because her kids are grown.
Maybe they downsized. Yeah,
that's right.
I'm gonna stick with that story because that's how I want it to be.
Okay, me too.
Yeah, they downsized
because she works a lot. She works
a lot. Nonstop. Yeah.
Okay, so Victoria, sitting in her childhood bedroom, says that Tina, her mother, is her best friend and her biggest supporter. Her mom, Tina, was also a DCC. She was class of 1989. Now, Tina is besties with Kelly, being the one who makes all the decisions. Now, we see quite a bit of flashbacks to that CMT show. Mm-hmm. So do you remember Victoria from that show?
I do remember Victoria after they showed the flashback. I'm like, oh yeah, I remember her.
Because she had the makeup running down her face.
Yes, she did. I have to say, I love Victoria's mom, Tina. Mm-hmm. I do. I love it when they did the flashbacks of her when she was a cheerleader. How hot was she? How cute was she? The person, she got all the personality and gave Victoria very, very little of it.
Okay. Do you watch Southern Charm and know who Madison LaCroix is? The girl.
Yes.
Okay.
She looks like Madison. Dimples.
Yeah. Everything looks just like her. When they were showing her in her youth, I was like, oh, Madison can just look to the left and see that's what she's going to look like when she's 60.
Absolutely. I didn't catch that, but as soon as you said, I'm like, that's exactly who she looks like.
Exactly who she looks like.
So pretty.
And that Anna Kate looks exactly like Miranda Lambert. Like, exactly. Like, every time they showed that Anna Kate, I was like, that's Miranda Lambert.
I guess I can see it now.
Yeah. I couldn't get over it.
I can see it. Yeah.
Also, Anna Kate, no personality either. Not a lick.
Zero. I don't know why they chose to kind of follow her story.
Me either.
Maybe because it was attached on to Caroline's story and we needed to see. I was like, why is she there? How did she make the team?
Agreed. How did she make the team? I thought her dancing was awful.
There was nothing impressive about her at all.
I couldn't get over it.
I don't know.
So then we see Charlotte Jones. So Charlotte Jones, of course, is the daughter of Jerry Jones. We all know the owner of the Dallas Cowboy franchise. She is the co-owner. She is the chief brand officer. She said hiring Kelly as the director was one of the best decisions she ever made. And we see how Kelly got the TV show made. Kelly had the Barbies made. Kelly has been in charge of the calendar. Give Kelly a big house and a driver. Come on.
They need to give Kelly something. I hope her retirement plan is like top tier.
She needs to retire now and go ahead and be able to enjoy it.
I don't think she's ready to give it up. But I think it is time for her and Judy to give it up. That they need to pass the torch.
Kelly, I hope, has a big beach house. That's what I hope for Kelly. And so she just lives in a regular house and she's got a big beach house that she goes to. That's what I hope. And she's got a plane.
Maybe.
So we see that the girls historically only get paid very little. And then Charlotte, the millionaire, gives a lot of reasons why the salary is really not
Yes.
important.
She tried really, really hard and she failed to make it sound like it was so much better than it was. It's like, Charlotte, no, you guys are taking advantage of these girls. You know what I mean?
So if each girl could make $100,000, which I think is what they deserve to be paid, that would
They
be
can afford it.
the Dallas Cowboys franchise. That is a drop in the bucket for Charlotte. That's a shopping trip to Neiman's. All 36 girls should each make $100,000. That's what I think.
And to me, with this, we're seeing this, and it's just like, here we go again. Women are not treated equally in pay. You know what I mean? Because Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders, they bring in a lot of money.
Right.
You know?
And what listen, you think about these football players, they play for X amount of time and do all that wear and tear on their body for the entertainment of it. But guess what? Then they're left with an NFL pension.
So they're doing all right. These girls have a pension.
No.
No. No.
So, all right. So back to Kelsey. Kelsey is a full-time nurse. We get more on that later. And she works 8:30 to 4:30 or whatever, and then goes to practice. Sometimes gets home at midnight, sleeps for 4 or 5 hours, and does it again. But she says it's all been worth it. They have all drank the Kool-Aid. They have all joined the cult. And she says she'll cherish it for the rest of her life. She doesn't care. She doesn't make any money, and that she went to full medical school and is doing this. Okay.
I'm so glad that you were thinking the same thing I was, that this is a cult. They're almost robotic in a way.
Yes, they all say the same thing.
No, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. No. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yeah, it's almost robotic. They each act just the same. Yeah. Everything about they act the same. It's kind of weird.
The class, the integrity, the grace, they all say the same things over and over and over.
They sound alike.
They all got that same sew-in extensions. I was fascinated about that because I don't know anything about that world. So I was like, "Ooh, they're sewing that hair in the back. That's crazy."
Well, that's how I do.
I know.
You gotta braid it and sew it in there.
I didn't know anything about it. I was fascinated. You could tell. Look at my flat hair. I could use some sew-in the back. So
I told you when I meet you, I'm gonna have you in a full wig, hair extensions, eyelash extensions, everything. Everyone's gonna be like, "Oh, clearly Mary Payne and Keisha."
Listen, I put on a little makeup for this broadcast because this, we're going to put this out on the YouTube. So listen, I'm doing what I can. Now we meet Reese. So Reese is a rookie candidate from Alabama. We know that she was on the Alabama cheer team. We see her bag and stuff. She was Miss Florida Teen, which Judy and Kelli are super impressed by for some reason.
Yeah.
And she's just very into Jesus, and she's super sweet. Okay. That's it.
Too sweet from me.
Okay.
I don't like anything that's super, super sweet. I need some spice in there. She gets
some spice when she's shaking her ass for Jesus.
She dances. Yes, she does.
Yes. Yeah.
But I was in fear that she was going to be preaching the Bible all of the episodes, and she didn't. So I was really surprised by that.
I was glad that, that's great that she has that for herself, but I'm glad that she wasn't trying to bug other people with it if they didn't want to hear it. Some of them do want to hear it. So now we're in the dressing room. Everybody's meeting each other to get ready for this tryout. We meet Brooke Wicker Alexandra, which is just such a Southern name. My name is Brooke Wicker Alexander, and she's the alumni coordinator. She comes in, she's telling everybody it's time to get ready. We're going to do these auditions. We're doing the solo dances. So we meet Anna Kate, who's trying out. Her sister Caroline was already on the team. She would have been 5th year, but she retired after 4. We find out why later. Yeah. We see Victoria, whose mom is Tina, the one that looks like Madison LaCroix. And so we see Victoria got cut out on the other reality show in 2018. And she doesn't think she does great at her audition, and she cries. And I got to say, I think Victoria is fine. I think she's fine. But I think that little tiny girl they cut out later would have been better.
Yeah, I did not think Victoria was going to make it.
I didn't either.
I was not impressed by her solo audition.
Same.
And between the eyes and the big teeth, she looks scary sometimes. Well, I know, but sometimes she looks like she's got this look like I'm scared. Am I doing it right? Do I look right? Like she's always, they're nervous. All always on, but yes, like she's a lot of anxiety going on
She's
there.
filled with fear, this girl.
Yeah.
So now we see the solo auditions, which I got to say, Anisha came out and did that like Bollywood. And I was like,
Oh,
love her.
yeah.
Love her.
She, I think that the words pretty, gorgeous, and beautiful are overly used and sometimes not accurately used.
Mm-hmm.
But this girl, and you know me, I'm not going to say someone's cute if they're
No, I know you're not.
So pretty.
Love Anisha.
So almost beautiful, but I'm going to stick with very, very, very pretty.
Loved
She's
her.
a 10. She's a
I
10.
loved her.
Yeah.
So now we see the field auditions. And so when the girls are talking and the judges are discussing their looks, just like flat out. She's got weird eyebrows. Her hair's the wrong color. Yeah. Ooh, did she come that way? They're discussing like she doesn't pop off the screen. She does pop off the screen.
Yeah.
Now the field auditions are over and the judges are going to sit to discuss. Now they're all sitting in a room. Go ahead.
I'm tired after watching the field auditions. I'm like, oof, that was a lot. I mean, I don't know how these girls like they're standing there. Like, what do they? What do they offer them a line of Coke in a dressing room or something? How are they able to do all of that?
I'm like, I don't get it. They have to only eat protein. They literally cannot eat. And then what else could they eat to like fit in those tiny costumes?
Because they are tiny.
Tiny and burning off so many. I guess they could probably eat what they want. They're burning off so many calories.
They
I can't get over the exercise level. So they're all sitting around a room discussing it, and they're talking about final decisions, and they're putting like the stickers on, to decide who's going to do what. And then I started really looking at that Charlotte Jones. This is when I started, and then I went online and looked her up as well, because I was like, she looks like a stick person. It's like she and her coat was like almost like David Byrne, Talking Heads. Like I was like, what's happening here? Does she also have an eating disorder? But then I went and looked her up in her sleeveless things and stuff because I've just Googled her picture. She is so muscly. She is like bone and muscle, bone and muscle, bone and muscle.
So she works out.
Oh my God, she's got to work out 2 hours a day.
That's like you have to wonder, muscular. Like when young girls watch this show, it's kind of scary in a way because we're telling them you have to look like this to be seen as beautiful. You have to be this size, because here's the thing. You do have to be a certain size. I don't think they can put that on like the application that you have to be this size.
Right.
But you do have to be a certain size.
Well, the Rockettes, they all have to be exactly 5'8" or whatever, and they all have to have their leg height has to be exactly the same. So if you're 5'8" and the best dancer ever, but your leg height is half an inch taller than the person next to you, you won't make it. Every single person has to be exactly the same.
That is crazy to me.
Yeah. So if you want to be a Rockette, you have to be exactly this with exact leg height. So your hip lines up exactly with everybody else. Isn't that wild?
That is very, very wild.
And I think they don't make any money either.
This is what kills me. Yeah. Like some people are like, I have to go see the Rockettes. Like they're going to New York so they can see the Rockettes, and then they don't make any money.
And they don't make any money. That's their part-time job. Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
Yes, it is. I don't
justice for the ladies. Okay, so blah 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 blah. Charlotte Jones looks like a stick. Okay, yeah. So then I looked her up, and she's not like a stick. She's just like I can't. It's just bone and muscle is what she looks like. Okay,
she looks like she absolutely puts everything she eats on a scale.
Yeah, probably.
She's
old school, like a scoop of cottage cheese.
Yes,
a scoop of pears.
That's her. Yes, that's her. I can't live that life at all.
Me either.
Although and she's not even on the dance team. And she's doing that.
She's got to uphold this, all right. So now we see episode 2, which is, sorry, my thumb's going to do that. Episode 2, auditions part 2. So 21 of the girls have perfect scores. So they have to go through the vets first. So now they call out names and numbers. Okay. So they don't do everybody, but these are the names that they showed us. Kelli V from Weehawken, New Jersey, who later will have her world turned around when they change her hair color. Have y'all heard about this new stuff called mud water? Well, I am here to tell you about it. Today's sponsor is for the caffeine junkies who find themselves in the endless cycle of coffee highs and lows. Hello, that is me. Mud water is a coffee alternative to get your energy fix without your heart doing jazz hands every morning. Mud water is like coffee's chill, yoga loving Zen cousin who went on a spiritual retreat. Imagine being alert and calm at the same time while not having that trouble falling asleep at night. Not only does mud water give you that morning boost you need, but it's also packed with adaptogens, antioxidants, and all those other big fancy health words that make you feel superior to your coffee drinking friends. For a limited time, our listeners are going to get up to 43% off your entire order, free shipping, and a free rechargeable frother with our exclusive link. You're going to head to mudwtr.com/pink shade. You guys, I got some of this mud water and I made it iced, just like I would normally like make the coffee, leave it, pour it over ice. So good. I put in my little bit of my vanilla creamer and one little Splenda packet. Completely delicious. You guys, yum. Every single ingredient in mud water is 100% USDA certified, easy for me to say, non-GMO, gluten-free, vegan, and kosher. There's also zero sugar and no sweeteners added. You know, you think about like, does your 3 p.m. cup of coffee make you stay awake at night contemplating all your life choices and the meaning of why you're here? Yeah, let's don't do that anymore. Switching to mud water can help you say goodbye to those sleepless nights. It's got all that energy without that late night, what am I doing with my life crisis? So for our limited time, our listeners will get 43% off the entire order, free shipping, and a free rechargeable frother when you use this exclusive link. You're going to go to mudwater.com/pink shade. Grab your starter kit. That's up to 43% off when you order at mudwtr.com/pink shade. And after you purchase, they'll say, hey, where did you hear about us? Make sure you say pink shade.
Yeah.
Reese, and I put in parentheses, Jesus girl.
Yes.
Kaylin, who I don't know if we ever saw her too much again. Charlie with the red hair. We see her some more. Kay Diana. Don't know where she's from. Got to be the South with a name like Kay Diana. Kelsey, of course, the veteran. Victoria makes this, group. Darian, who we see later. Madeline, who we see a lot of later. Anisha, the orthodontist. And Anna Kate, excuse me. We see some of the veterans haven't made it.
Yeah.
They're 2-3 years in. They don't make it. That's hard.
Current count. Where did you go wrong?
Current count is 16 rookies and 28 veterans. So that's too many. We got to get to 36.
Yeah, that has to be hard to be a vet and then you get cut. I mean, it's either you didn't bring your A game or you just got outperformed by
somebody younger.
Yeah.
Some of these girls are 20, and then Anisha's up there like 31, and they're 31. Like, whoa. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, Reese, they talk, and Reese is from Florida, but she went to Alabama, and then Kelly is from New Jersey. Becca is from Mississippi. She went to state, obviously, because it says Starkville, Mississippi. Charlie is from California. Reese is just loving learning about her new friend. She's so excited. Yeah. Everything is great.
This is like the best thing to ever happen. Well, I think all of them see this as the best thing that's ever happened to them.
They do.
But this is a whole new world for Reese.
Yeah.
I mean, she got to go to Starbucks and order a drink.
She'd never even heard of such. She was trying to be cool and fit in, so she ordered an acai strawberry.
Acai.
She didn't know. She didn't know. Mm-hmm. Training camp day 1. So Brooke is lining up the alums for the welcome clap-in line. These are all the elders. And they go into the classroom. They say the final team will be announced on July 19th. So this is what we're doing. So now we see the alums chatting at like a mixer, and Caroline is there because remember she's like on crutches. Then we meet Anisha. She tells us she's an orthodontist. Anna Kate Miranda Lambert is a financial advisor. Yes. Darian is a vet tech. She does something else too. I can't remember. Reese is fitness. Reese is blank. Reese has no job.
Flower shop.
Well, now she does, but when she got there, she didn't do anything.
And I'm like wondering, like,
how do you afford that?
How do you afford that?
To live.
Is your family? So I think that when they are in this part of the tryouts, I think that the Cowboys organization puts them in a hotel.
Well, they were at the Gaylord Texan, and
yes, which is beautiful.
We have a Gaylord here, and then we stayed at the Gaylord, and so they have huge conference spaces. So,
yes.
So they're staying at this Gaylord Texan. So I guess they're all being put up there because they all have separate rooms. If they didn't, I think they'd be bunking up together.
Yeah, so I think they actually pay for them. Oh, how kind of them to do this for the girls as they're trying out. Pay for their rooms. So
pay for their rooms. So let's see. Reese is no job at this point. Kelsey is a nurse, and Victoria is a dance instructor, and she is a ballet student at the Joffrey School of Ballet. Victoria, do that. Do that. You're a very good ballet dancer.
I think she feels a certain Victoria has not peaked. Like I think that she's been stunted a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, she tells you, I wonder if she even had a boyfriend. She just seems kind of awkward. You know what I mean? Yeah. I think she's living in her mom's shadows. Yes. I think she's very, very insecure as well.
Yes.
And this is not a good place for her to be if she's insecure.
I agree. So they all get Barbies. You know, they go up and they just have to pick one that they think looks like them. And then which is hilarious. And then they see their lockers in the locker room, you know, that they'll have for this training camp, and everybody cries. Okay. Training camp day 2. Lots of high kicks, lots of criticism. Kelsey tells us she's the only remaining leader of the veterans. And I think maybe that means she was a leader last year too.
Yes.
Victoria says group leaders go by seniority, and she wants it. This is her 4th year. Victoria wants to be a leader. And Kelly,
but she missed a year.
But she skipped a year. We find out later because she left for her mental health, which good for her. Kelly and Judy both say Victoria is going to have to put herself out there and get along better with the other girls to be a leader. And they meet with her and tell her, hey, Victoria, you don't have the energy and stamina of your 18-year-old self.
Because she's not 18.
But I'm just like, damn. I mean, they are harsh.
I don't think they don't have time to not be harsh. Look how quickly this whole thing goes from the audition to their first game. It's a short period of time, but goddamn, they could throw a little sugar on it.
No, they're never nice to Victoria. I don't think they're nice to her the whole time.
So it leads you to wonder: are they a little bit harder on her because she is close to Kelly? You know, through mom. Do they feel the need to be a little bit harder on her? But then again, I didn't see them as hard on Madeline, whose mom was also friends with them, as they are on Victoria. To me, they don't like Victoria. I don't think
they like her. I don't even know why they let her on. They didn't seem like they liked her.
I don't know.
So Victoria says, do you think I'll be able to take on a formal leadership role? And they're like, we don't know. No. We don't it's not up to them. They're like, I don't know. Time will tell. We don't know.
She doesn't show any leadership qualities though.
She doesn't. And then they talk more about her stamina or lack thereof. And then they hint, she has an eating disorder. Okay. They're hinting. We find out later she does, but they're hinting at it to her. Like, we don't know if you're fueling yourself correctly. Yeah. So now we see Anisha at work as an orthodontist. She was on the Golden State Warriors as a dancer when she was in dental school. Then we see Charlie, the redhead. She's practicing. She's a ballerina.
I don't think she has the look. I'm surprised she made it.
I don't know why everybody's so hard on Charlie. I think it's because she just doesn't do her eyebrows right, but I thought Charlie looked great.
I didn't find anything fascinating about her. Look at us sounding like Kelli and Judy.
We do sound like Kelli and Judy. I thought Charlie, they did talk more than once about her eyebrows. I was like, you get that note one time and you go get your eyebrows done.
She wasn't picking up on it. I don't know if she couldn't afford to go get them done or
just a pencil. Just a pencil would work.
I just don't think she had the look. There wasn't a lot of personality. Sorry, my body kind of got stuck in that position. I start hurting. We're waiting for a hurricane to come right now. I don't know if you know that. Yeah. So the lupus is acting very lupusy. Right now it's sunny. And it's like the weather bitch enjoy it because tomorrow is gonna be dark and rainy. So yeah, things are shutting down for tomorrow. So yeah, I kind of got stuck in that position. I was like, I gotta move.
Move it around, girl.
Charlie just didn't do anything for me at all.
Well, now we see Reese, and she's in her hotel room, where she talks from a lot. And she says every day is an audition. It's really hard. It's very challenging.
Yeah.
But then she talks about how she talks to her fiance every day, Will. And we kind of get the story about Will. And I don't want you to say anything ugly about Will.
Oh, I'm not going to. Well, I didn't have to say anything ugly about Will because Kelli and Judy basically did that for us.
Oh, that was awful.
It was
awful. Terrible.
But it was kind of funny. Because they didn't say it, but we all got it.
They said it. Oh,
so James is like, that's what people do to us. People say, oh, how'd you? And I swear to God, it does happen. And I feel so bad when people do it, but it does make me giggle. People literally say, oh, how'd you get her? When you really say that one person is not on the same level as someone else, it's what you're saying. And I'm like, oh, my poor baby.
Aww.
You know, but it happens to us. It happens to us a lot. So yeah, that kind of gave me a giggle because it's so fucking rude.
It is so rude. It's so rude. So Kelli and Judy, etc., are talking, and they say right now their bottom is Anisha, Charlie, Reese, and Anna Kate. And they don't want to take anybody unnecessarily into the costume fittings because that could be upsetting. Because after the costume fittings, then they do makeovers. Not for everybody, just who they think need it.
I have never liked the makeovers. Even when I watched it when it was on CMT. And I have to say this is that they never do right by the brown girls. They just don't. They end up looking almost the exact same way. I don't know if there's like they're not experienced with that hairstyle, the hair type or the makeup type. They all end up looking exactly the same way they did when they came in. There's never a hair color change. The makeup is not that different. I'm like, girl, put some blonde, like highlights in my hair or something like that. So that's the part that has always bothered me about the makeovers. Like they're never as drastic for the brown girls as they are for the other girls, in my opinion. That's something that just always kind of bothered me. And we see it again on here. Like she looks exactly the same.
I didn't see anything drastic at all except for Kelli from New Jersey. Everybody else,
the hair color.
And even they were like, here comes Anna Kate. Woo. I was like, she literally looks exactly the same.
Like on the series, there's some of them like they will completely change their hair color. Like a girl will go in blonde and come out a redhead. I'm like, whoa, that's major. Right.
And just to have like Kelli go in there and hold up the swatches up to her face and be like, yeah, she should just have brown hair. I'm like, oh my God, it's huge. What if you have to go home and you got to maintain that? That's a lot of money.
Yeah, and what I've seen some girls cry.
Yeah, I bet.
But you can't say I don't like it though. You cannot dare say that you don't like it in front of Kelli because then you're insulting Kelli.
That's right. You can't insult Kelli. Okay, so makeovers. They're going to be doing that, and they're going to be making all these cuts throughout training camp. And then we see this famous choreographer. He's giving feedback. Yeah. Now we're at training camp day 4. They're doing the stickers again, and the people there, the choreographers and all the people that are the judges are picking their top 36. So Charlotte's daughter, whose name I'll find later, I can't remember. She comes in and she grabs Kaylin and Darian, and they get cut by Kelli and Judy. Now it's funny because earlier up here we're like, who are their bottom? Anisha, Charlie, Reese, and Anna Kate. But they pick Kaylin and Darian. They didn't get cut. Yeah. So I guess once they did that sticker thing, these are the bottom 2.
Yeah.
So a lady named Sharpie, who's an alum, Sharpie takes care of the girls when they get cut.
Is that really her name?
No, her name is like Michelle something Sharpenstein or something. Her last name has the word sharp in it, so they call her Sharpie.
Okay, got it. I have to mention one thing about the judges when they were doing the auditions. That one guy, I can't remember if he was from the boot company.
Oh, God. The boot company guy, why are you there? You're only there because you're supplying the boots. He was bugging.
He was he was disgusting. Like, I can't remember whose solo it was because I need to go outside for a cigarette. Like, ew. Why would you say that? That's so gross. Ugh.
I think it was Anna Kate. And even me, I was like, that was a terrible audition.
It gave me the itch.
I didn't like him at all. And I'm like, why are you getting to judge cheerleaders just because you own a boot company?
Because they want the discount.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. So now we see at home, Tina is making food for Victoria. It looks like some cold cuts, like some turkey, a mozzarella stick, some rice cakes, and some watermelon. And Victoria says, in the past, she was asked to lose weight. And then her mom's like, well, then you lose weight, then you gain weight, like you're too big and you're too little. And she says, yeah, it's mentally challenging to keep that physique up. And they have a costume that's made to your body. And then the next year you put it on. And what if it doesn't fit exactly the same, you know?
I was in shock to learn that they don't get like that is their costume however many years that they are on the squad.
Mm-hmm. And then also, if you're retiring, like Kelsey's retiring, why isn't she allowed to keep her outfit?
Like, that is a waste of a uniform. No one else is going to fit it. Just give it to them.
I didn't understand that at all. I understand about giving it back in case they yeah, I mean, well, they just signed something. Just put it in a frame in your house.
You can't sell it. Yeah, that's what I would do.
Yeah, so I wouldn't want to have those tiny little shorts hanging in my house as a reminder of
how things used to be.
Yeah, it used to be.
Yeah, that's how it once was.
And then we see a bunch of the other girls from the past talking about this body image issue and how hard it is to keep it up. And it's like, you're this, you're that, you've got to like a roll, you know, it's very hard. And it's like, they want these hard abs and everything is different, you know.
I heard them tell one girl, oh, you're curvy in all the right places. None of them have curves. What? They're not curvy.
Kelly at one point was like, oh, she's like doing her knot. And she's like, are these your real boobs? Ugh.
That's the famous Kelly knot. Because Kelly can make you like you have a boob job just from doing that knot. But that's like a big thing is whenever Kelly gets to come in and play with your titties a little bit. And the knot thing is like a big thing for the girls.
I'm very surprised with all of the, you know, the moving of the body that a boob doesn't pop out. Because no tape is going to help that, you know, when they're moving that much.
I wonder, like, are they just a small cup size?
Or do they have something inside there that would really block it? I don't know.
It has to be.
Because they're really moving their arms a lot for a boob not to pop out.
Yeah.
Okay, so they're trying on the uniforms. Okay, now we got episode 3. All right, we're going through it, Keisha. Episode 3. This episode is called Yes, Ma'am.
It gets on my nerves so bad.
I know, but it doesn't bother me at all because, like, I'm Southern. I say yes, ma'am to all my mother's friends still.
Well, they don't even let you say yes. Like, if you say yes, they say yes, ma'am. Mm-hmm. Yeah, like they are required to say yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So, Anna Kate staying with her sister Caroline. We get some like funny things of them in the bed, and Caroline's trying to talk to her. And
why are they sharing that bed? Is there no couch?
She said they're in a studio apartment together because Caroline got that for herself.
Right.
And then her sister moved in, and she had to wait to see if she was going to make the team and everything. Yeah. I don't know. So
is the couch a pull-out bed? Is that why they are having to share the bed?
I don't know, but this just again shows they need to make more money so they could. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anna Kate's a financial advisor. Like, I mean, she's studying for these like financial tests on her off time.
Yeah.
We don't know what Caroline has done for her career.
I don't know that she has done anything.
So now we have the end of the year banquet for the DCC class of 2022. And Caroline wins Veteran of the Year, you know, since she's retiring. And she talks a lot about being on the team. And she's so excited about her sister getting the experience. 18 days until the first game. And it is makeover day for 14 girls. So 14 of these girls look terrible and need a full makeover. So
that's so funny.
Kelly goes from blonde to brown. Now we see her family home. We meet her parents. I'm like,
cried the whole time.
We're like, well, she's definitely on the team because why would they take the time to go to her? It's just like if you watch like The Voice or American Idol, whatever. When you get that home story of them at home, you're like, well, of course they're going to make it because they wouldn't waste this time and then have
I mean, they have to send a film crew all the way to New Jersey to film this.
Yeah.
And so literally her parents cried the whole time they talked.
They were so happy for her.
Parents.
So it is Kelli that graduated from Rutgers, and she's from New Jersey. Yes. Does she know Gia Judice? That's the question.
She has to know Gia Judice. We need to find this out. I'm going to go look on the Reddit. I'm going to ask it on the Reddit.
Thank you.
See what I find out. Okay.
The parents talk about how they decided to divorce after their kids were grown up, and they were, because, the mom was like, Kelli wanted to do all these things, and there was no way I could have afforded it as a single parent. Right. But so Kelli's like, I really want to show my parents, like, they didn't sacrifice all these years of, me being a dancer for nothing. Like, I really want to show. It's like, oh my God, and the parents are both sweet. They're crying. And then I was like, they're definitely in different houses.
I was confused. I was like, what do the last names switch up? Because when they show them, they're together. So you're just assuming that they're still married. And then you find out, okay, they're divorced. But I will say, I like her hair color better this way.
Yeah. Cause it wasn't just so brown. It was like a light brown. Yeah. It looked nice.
It complemented her eye color a lot.
I thought so too. I thought the blonde was maybe too stark for her.
Yeah.
So, now Kelli.
Was she adopted? She looked nothing like her parents.
I don't
go
know.
back and look at her parents.
Yeah.
Think about, and it just dawned on me, I'm like, she looks nothing like those people.
Maybe she was adopted. I don't know.
Maybe she was. It just dawned on me. I'm like, I wonder was she adopted.
Kelli and Judy talk about the makeovers. Kelli's now got Kelli with the Y's now got brown hair. Becca, they got her red hair, and they're talking about blah blah blah. Becca from Mississippi gets no love. So now we talk about the Thunderstruck dance that Judy created.
Yeah.
Now Judy created this Thunderstruck dance to this AC/DC song. I mean, maybe she did because it's like old. I mean, AC/DC, they're all 80 years old too. I guess maybe it's feasible.
Yeah. But here's the thing. It's a little outdated.
The song is outdated.
It's choreography for it's a little bit outdated. Yeah. But as long as Judy's there, it's not going to change.
And this is the dance. And we talk about the jump splits. Okay. And Caroline says, this is what rips up people's hips. And she just had a hip surgery. And we hear
in her
20s, we hear all the girls talking about they have torn up hips and necks. And Caroline's like, yeah, and I also recently had a foot surgery.
That's insane for $150 a game. Like, wait a minute. If that's all they do, how do they even pay for like going to their doctor? They don't have insurance.
Well, let's see. So Caroline did it for 4 years. Even if she did it right out of college, she's still under 27. So she could be on her dad's insurance.
Okay, that's a good point. Because what is it? Is the cutoff is 26, right?
I think it's 27.
Oh, okay.
So now we see Kat, that's the cute girl who was sitting, she's applying for Deal or No Deal Island, which is so funny because now that's like was a real show, but at the time you're like, what? And they say, do you have any physical problems? She's like, oh yeah, my back, my neck, my hips, I have arthritis. Yeah, that's
a lot.
11 days until the first game. This is crazy that it's 11 days to the first game and they don't have this team solidified yet. It's crazy.
No, they don't. And it's going by super fast.
Yeah. So they go through with the choreographer who they need to cut. And they say Madeline was a legacy. Madeline's mom was a cheerleader. We meet her mom. Mom was a cheerleader. Dad was a cinematographer for Dallas. And mom says, yeah, Dad didn't handle the aging process very well. He was always worried about getting outworked by a 22-year-old. He was verbally abusive to the kids. And Madeline talks about it too. Like, if she didn't make captain of the cheer team, he'd say, well, I guess you didn't want it enough. He was mean to the kids. And mom said he was angry at me. He was angry at the kids. He was angry at the world. And there were a lot of little things through the years, but no big red flags. And then she says Madeline cries and says he lost his battle with mental health in August of 2022. She got called on the way to the game to be told that her dad had unalived himself. And she went on to do the game. And they show her doing American Sign Language. She's the one that does that for the fans. The game that her father she found out that day her dad died. And
that is insane that she went to the game.
Yeah. Kelli said, not only did I tell her she should sit out, I recommended it. So I think if Kelli says you should sit out, but then if Kelli says, actually, I'm telling you, you have to, then you do it. But she refused. She said, no, she's going to do it.
I mean, everyone grieves differently, but I mean,
wow, it's
like I
really.
said, some of the stuff is very robotic. Like they are in that zone when they're always on. Some of them seem like if you notice, when they cry the same.
No, I did not notice that.
No, they all do the same exact cry. And I'm like, do they like go through a course where they study and learn how to do this? Like they cry the same. And to me, it's a very fakish cry. It's very soap opera. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is very cult. It is very culty. It's very culty.
Yeah. The personalities are all the same. It's very odd.
Yeah. Yeah. So
yes,
now we're 10 days into the first game. Yes, ma'am. And Kelli with a Y is talking about how hard that Thunderstruck is. Like it looks like it's not that hard, but it is a lot. And they're showing them also the length they have to go across the field in like one step. They have to go like a full yard in 5 steps.
Yeah. That's a lot.
That's a lot.
I can't even walk that football field without need a break and a Gatorade
and they're having to like run across it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so she's talking about how hard that dance is. And we see Reese and Charlie practicing together in the hallway. They become like best buddies. Now, this is a dumb thing we didn't need, but Kelli and Judy meet up with Emmitt Smith. Okay. So Emmitt Smith, we remember, Super Bowl winner, rushing yard passer, whatever, winner of the world, whatever, and he won Dancing with the Stars. Okay.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, we would like for you to watch the girls and give an opinion. He was like, no, I will not, because I don't want to get canceled and I'm no dummy. No.
And I don't think Emmitt knew why he was there either. I think he's like, Jerry Jones said, Emmitt, I need you to do me a favor for me.
For this show. Yeah.
For this show. And because he was just like, what the fuck? Why am I here? What?
He's there to give like a pep talk, but it's dumb because he's a football player. So
he's a football player.
So they're saying they have to make a cut tonight. They have to. So they're saying Madeline looks tired. I don't think she's fueling herself, more fueling the self, more Madeline doesn't fuel herself. They work on Thunderstruck some more, and Anisha rolls her ankle and like steps out of the line. The rookies do the routine again, just the rookies, and they tell Becca, you look fatigued. And then they tell Leah, work on your entrance. So they bring Anisha in to look at her ankle, and Judy looks at it, and she was like, I think your shoes are too big. Is that literally blaming her for rolling her ankle? Yeah. And
her shoes were a little bit too big, though.
They did look
and
a little too big.
I don't understand why she didn't say something about them being, it's like they're scared to speak up. Like, shit, your shoes don't fit. Get another pair of shoes.
Yeah. Yeah. Because those shoes have to be tight or they're going to go flying off into the air.
Yeah.
And Judy looks at her ankle and goes, listen, you're a great performer. I mean, you've got the most gorgeous long legs, but you don't have the same style and foundation of dance as the other girls do. So for that reason, you're out. So she's out. So she lets her go.
Yeah.
Now
she
Kelli
was robbed.
Anisha was robbed. It's a good thing she's a doctor.
Orthodontist, yeah.
Kelli brings in Becca from Mississippi, and Kelli says, you're just like wound up and like overtrying and overthinking, and you're overdoing all your facial stuff. So you're being released. And Becca's like, okay, bye. So she leaves. A third girl, I did not even clock, gets released. Then they call Kelli from New Jersey in to talk. And Kelli says, they say, how are you doing? And she goes, the nerves have gotten the best of me. And they go, yeah, you look nervous all the time. And she starts crying. And she goes, this is my lifelong dream, is to make this team. I'm from New Jersey. This is my lifelong dream to make the team. And they go, well, too bad, because today's your last day. And she goes, do you think I should try again next year? Is there even like a point? Am I good enough? And they go, yeah, you should definitely try out again. You could be that comeback girl. And then
that's happened a lot. Some of them don't make it their first year. They try it again and they do make it.
And I think a lot of it is now they know what they're up against.
What to expect. Yes.
So if they didn't have that stamina, they can really train for that for a year.
Yeah.
So Sharpie takes her out. The friends come and
sweet.
Very sweet, Sharpie. The
Yeah.
friends come and hug her. She calls and tells her parents, and they're very nice and supportive. And Reese and Charlie hug her, and that's it. Goodbye, Kelly from New Jersey. All right. Hey, y'all, this is the end of part 1. Stay tuned to part 2, already in your feed. Thanks. Ads not read by me, Mary Payne, don't necessarily reflect the views of Pink Shade. If you'd like to listen to ad-free, you're going to go on over to Supercast or Patreon, and you can find the links to Pink Shade Prime at pinkshadepodcast.com.